Welcome back to my channel. Today is September 15th, 2025, and when I tell you today is the first day I have felt like a person, it has been a while since I felt like a person. It's been a minute, to be quite honest. Last week I have been like, it has been the weirdest kind of like under the weather moment that I was experiencing. It was like a mixture of being like having a cold and having allergies. And both have medicine that you can take, but not all the medicine that you take fixes both of them. And like, you can't take both medicines at the same time. I'll have to say, I felt like one day I was either taking cold medicine, the next day I was taking allergy medicine, and I just kept going back and forth. Ultimately, today's the first day I feel like a lot better, so that's great. And my hope is that whatever I was feeling last week is gone. It's over. My immune system is built back up. I'm like avoiding people this whole week because next week I'll be going on my trip, and I genuinely do not want to be sick on my trip. I already know with the long travel day, that's already going to make me feel some type of way, but my hope is, finger crossed, I can build up my immune system. I'll be taking emergency every single day, making sure that I get all my vitamins in, and I am washing my hands. I always wash my hands, let me be a little bit specific, but I'll be making sure I am really like washing my hands and staying sanitized and staying away from germs is what I want to say. But I'm so glad to be feeling better. I realize when you are sick, you don't understand, you don't ever really value your health until you're sick. And I was just like, I'm so glad that I have medicine that I can take to get better and whatnot. So with that being said, my hope is I can continue on the up and positive, good feelings, and not go through whatever I experienced last week ever again. So there's that. Now let's do a quick little book haul, because the last week, even though I was not feeling well, I was still able to acquire books. So I want to do a quick little book haul. And one of the parts of this book haul is kind of funny because I got my book of the month right here. And with my book of the month, I genuinely do not remember what I ordered. I have an idea of what's inside this box, but I kept going back and forth with what books that I would get, because I had 4 credits and I was like, am I gonna get 2 or am I gonna get 1? And I just kept going back and forth. I would go into book of the month, add books, delete them, and keep going back and forth about what I was gonna get. Ultimately, at some point in time, I ordered my box for September, and when I got it, I was like, I genuinely don't remember what's inside the box. So as I open this box, you and I will be thoroughly surprised because I genuinely don't remember. So let's see what past J.Alexis ordered. All right, the first thing is my lovely, what's this called? Bookmark. I don't know if it's focusing, but if it's not focused, it says Plotting My Next Escape. I always love their bookmarks. They're so cute to me. So the first book is, okay, I remember this. Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. So that is what I got. This was my actual September book pick. This was also $2.99 extra because of the sprayed edge. So book of the month, I don't know if they're doing this every month or what's their process they're going about this, but I've noticed they're now doing sprayed edges on their books, and it's like $2.99 plus when you do it. So it's like a credit plus $2.99. So interested to see what this one is all about. I've heard really good things about it. I kept seeing it on like the ads, so that's kind of what made me pick it up. The weird thing about my cover is it's not centered correctly, like it's folded wrong. So if you kind of can see, like right here, this should be on the spine. So I'm going to try to see off camera if I can get it to line back up correctly, or I'm just going to tell Book of the Month, hey, my dust jacket is off, and is it possible that I can get a new one? I feel like it's possible that I can get it to realign, but then I also know that like with it being pressed right here, it may not line up correctly. So we'll see. All right, and then the other book, which makes sense on why I got this, because it was between two books. It was this one and then another book called The Compound, which is a Lord of the Flies plus Love Island is the way that book was marketed. But I got this one, Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross, which is very funny because yesterday when I was at Barnes, I almost decided to pick up Wild Reverence, the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, but I remembered I have the first two, like not first two books, but the other two books in this like world as Book of the Month books, so it makes sense on why I got this one for my Book of the Month. So with that being said, it's a pretty thick book, we'll say that. I don't know if I'm a little surprised on how thick it is. It's like 523 pages, so it's a little chunky book. But I'm excited to read it. So there's that. All right, now let's talk about my Barnes & Noble order. So backstory on this real quick. I went to New Release Tuesday this past week, and I got another book. I didn't film anything for that. I was going to get this book, but then I forgot to get it. I was like, okay, well, I forgot it. It's okay. Whatever. I'll get it whenever next time I go out. I kept seeing this book. I kept hearing great things about this book. I was like, at this point, I need to get it. I then reserved a copy at 2 different Barnes. Both of my orders canceled because they did not have the book. I then ordered it from a 3rd Barnes, and I was like, all right, if this one cancels, then I'm giving up at this point. I'll just get it like another time. It did, in fact, go through. I said, great. I wound up going on Friday after work, and as I was walking around the store, because before I check out, I tend to like walk around the store, you know, see what the vibes are. I saw the book, learned that the book was doing, this book was buy one, get one 50% off, which I was like, I need to get it a friend because it's buy one, get one 50% off. I have to take advantage of the sale. That is how I got these 2 books. So let's do it. All right. So the first book, which is the book that I went in there for, is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. This is my first ever Hannah Bonham Young book. I've heard so many great things about her. I've heard that her books are, they deal with different, they're romance books, but they also have like depth to them. Like they deal with like real world problems, and there's like, they're not very basic or surface level like books. So I just felt like I needed to go ahead and pick this up, and it's very fall, like it's giving fall. So I said I need to read this fall. And then the other book that I got, which is, and this was again 50% off, Burning Bright. Oh my gosh, this cover is just amazing. Burning Bright by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is a new series, if I remember correctly. I have heard really good things about this book. Like when it first came out, I was hearing things about it, and then it's now kind of trickling off. So I'm not hearing too many things about this book, but I did hear when people did reviews of this book, I've heard really good things about it. It is also a very thick book. I was very surprised when I saw how thick it is. I love blue butterflies, so that's kind of what kind of encouraged me to get this book, because I just love a good blue butterfly. So I'm interested to see how the blue butterfly plays a role into this story. So overall, I think this is a sports romance. Kind of just looking at the back, there is reference to hockey, so it's like a hockey romance. And I know that like they're called I think there's like something about the Cobalt brothers or the Cobalt family or something like that. So like I said, very interested to starting this book. I think this is the second Krista and Becca Ritchie book I have. I do own their first series, the first book in their first series, which is called, let's see, the Addicted series, Addicted to You. I own that one. I have not read it. I think I started it at one point in time and then I soft DNF'd it because I just wasn't in the mood for it. But I do look forward to jumping into this book. So I probably would jump into this book probably in the winter time because of the hockey, and it's blue and it just gives me very much winter vibes. So stay tuned for my winter TBR to see if I pick this one up. So that is all my current reads, or all my, not current reads, those are my books that I've purchased recently. What we could talk about is my current read, which is, and I'm reading this on my Kindle, Unwanted by Mia Sheridan. I am currently, let's see, 47% in to Unwanted by Mia Sheridan. It's a romantic suspense, which is very different for me. I usually read either suspense or romance, but not romantic suspense. And I find this to be the very like perfect mix of romance but suspense. Like we are solving a case or cases while we're also watching the female main character and the male main character build a relationship with each other. So I thoroughly enjoy it. So ultimately, I'm probably just going to get back, either on the couch or I'm going to get in bed, and I'm just going to continue to read today because I want to continue to rest and get my energy back up. So the best way to do that is read and rest. So let's do it. Y'all, today is September 19th, 2025. It's Friday, it's post-work, it's also iPhone release day. So I got a new iPhone, and I'm going to kind of tell you about my experience because I did something that some would call main character energy, some would call crazy, some would call you obviously didn't really want an iPhone, but clearly it worked out in my benefit because I have it. But what I did was I didn't reserve one. And you know, like if you know about iPhones, especially with release date, with all the like people who want to get new iPhones and whatnot, you know, it's smart to, if you want your phone on release day, it's smart to either pre-order one or like lock down one at a location. It's very hard to find an iPhone out in the wild, which is what I did. Because I realized, I said, I'm about to go on this trip. I probably should have a good, reliable phone. And the phone that I have, which is a 13 Pro Max, she has run her course. She has done her thing. She's done her big one. I love her. She was great, but just recently, within really like the last 2 to 3 weeks, she has just genuinely not passed her test of me using her and doing the things that I need to do. And oftentimes I've found myself like my phone has just crapped out in like very important situations. Like I'm trying to take a video of something, or I'm trying to do something, or I need to call someone. And then my phone's like, nah, fam, like you don't need to call this person, or you don't need to take this video. All that to say, I was like, okay, like I kept going back and forth if I was going to, I said, I'm not going to order one. I'm not going to pre-order one. If I go to a store and I find it, then I'm going to do it. The other thing that I said is like, I really didn't know what color I wanted, because if you know anything about the iPhone Pros, that Pro line, because that's the line I like the Pro line. The 17 only came in orange, blue, and silver. And I typically get like the gold. This year they're not doing a gold, which is fine. And I said, okay, I don't know. I kept going between blue and orange. I ultimately landed on orange because I just felt like it was different. Like, just felt like an orange phone would be really nice, different, and I would enjoy that. So that's what I got. The other crazy part about it is orange is very like not necessarily limited, but it's harder to find. Like the silver and the blue are like it was easier to find those. Orange was just somewhat difficult. Best Buy, which I love Best Buy. Best Buy is like a place that I often get my tech, and typically I get my phones either from Best Buy or Target when I'm trying to upgrade my phone. Best Buy came through. Best Buy did not have the 256. Those sold. Like it was, I think if I wanted to try to get the 256, it wasn't projecting that I would get, it was projecting I would get it like next week, which I'm going on the trip next week. And it was coming like the 24th, the 26th, like in the middle of the trip. So I'm like, I'm not about to have the phone literally sitting out in the open, like whether that be in like the lockbox that's at because my apartment does have like a lockbox system, like a package system. I said, I'm not letting it sit out at my front door because somebody's gonna steal it or sit in a lockbox. I need my phone now. So I was like, if I can't find it on a release day, then I'm just gonna wait until afterwards. As we can see, I was able to get it, so I'm going to do a little bit of an unboxing with y'all. This is my case. I wound up getting the Caseify case because this case, out of all the cases, looked the most sturdy. So I'm gonna kind of try it out, see how it does, and if it's good, then I'm gonna keep it. If it's not good, then I'm gonna return it because I drop my phone often enough that I know I need a good, solid, sturdy case. So that's the case I got, and it's green. It's so cute. I love it. And I think it's going to match very well with the orange iPhone. So let's do the case first. so I can just put it in a case as soon as I get it out. So this is the Case FI Force case. It says it's for the 2025 Pro Max. Here you go. This is not as satisfying, so there's that knife. Yeah, that was not as satisfying. It's such a beautiful case. It's a hard plastic. I don't know if you can hear it. Hard plastic, so it feels pretty like sturdy. I'm trying to figure out how to get it out. Okay, there's like a, there we go. Okay, there's something I need to verify, so I need to do that once I'm done. But here's a hard plastic. It feels pretty like sturdy. Like it feels like if I drop my phone, it's not going to tear up. It's gonna protect my phone. So that's pretty dope. I like it. Now, let's do the phone. I do want y'all to, I'm gonna try to cover my information so y'all can hear it. We're focusing. Okay. Come on. There we go. All right, that side is off. Let's just get this side. Clearly, I am not a pro unboxer of iPhones. I don't open iPhones regularly enough. Back in the day, I used to get an iPhone probably every 2 years. Now, because I literally, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. Now, and I'm matching. This is so cute. This was not planned. I did not plan to wear, like, match with my phone. But now, because I have to pay for my own phone, and I just am not, I love getting a new phone because it's just great to have new phones. But I tend to not see enough with the new phones that are like is moving the needle where I need to get a new phone. But this is what it looks like. I'm trying also not to be one of those people who drops it. I'm currently on carpet, so if it does fall, at least it's falling on carpet, but there's that life. But this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. And then let's take it out the box. It's very heavy, got a little weight to her. This is the cord. I do know I'm going to have to use the cord because my phone is the Lightning. My old phone is the Lightning. So yeah, this is so cool. Like it's a very nice, crisp orange. It's like very metallic, very nice. It feels very good. But my mom also got a new phone too. She got the same phone. And she's like, this is just super advanced. And I said, okay. And now I see what she's talking about. But this is, it's not too different, but it's different enough. And then let's take off this. Oh, that is so cool. And then I'm gonna put this in the, I need to take this little piece off. I'm trying to see if I can find a way to take this piece off. Let's see if I can take, there we go, perfect. Let's see, how do you get this in here? You don't take it apart. Okay. You just shove it in there? I don't love that. I'm gonna try to see if I can get that to figure out. Okay, look at it. Like, okay, it's not really doing a good job of showing up on camera. Of like, okay, now I'm gonna set this up real quick. So I'm gonna go off camera, set this up because I do need to transfer my phone to my old phone to this phone, and then we'll come back together. So give me 1 second. All right, y'all, so today is Saturday, and I'm gonna give y'all a quick little update. This is my phone put together. It's so cute. I am thoroughly enjoying it. There is a huge learning curve with this thing because I had an iPhone 13 Pro Max and now going to an iPhone 17 Pro Max. It is definitely a very big difference, but I'm overall enjoying it. So there's that in life. But now, today is Saturday, September 20th. I have about today and then 2 more days of really getting stuff done for this trip. I am not prepared. I have not packed. I've pulled everything together. Well, I pulled majority of my stuff together and it's in my suitcase, but it's not like packed. So today is going to be really focused on running around, getting my outdoor errands taken care of. Then tomorrow, which is Sunday, is going to be really focusing on getting everything in my suitcase. And then Monday is going to be like doing the last little tidbits of stuff. So I know I'm going to go to Dollar Tree. I know I'm going to go to probably Target. I'm also going to Half Price Books to actually do a unhaul. I have about, I think it's about like 15 to 20 books that I'm about to unhaul because I just need to get them out of my apartment. So that's where I'm at currently. And then it just so happened to be a Dollar Tree next to the Half Price Books. So I'll be going to both of those places and then also Target and then maybe some other places. So I have my camera. I'm going to take you along this journey of me getting my stuff together because I definitely need to get my ish together. So let's do it. Alright, y'all. So I just finished Unwanted by Mia Sheridan, and I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars. Here's why. The romance part was super well developed, top tier. I really enjoyed the romance element. I think the thriller suspense part could have been a little bit more developed. I think that the story itself was very interesting and it had me hooked because I'm like, okay, like crimes have been committed. I want to know who did it. I think that piece could have been a little bit more, I would have preferred it to have a different ending and a little bit more development. But I think romantic suspense, I think, is a very interesting genre. Like, there's a romance happening, and then there's usually some sort of like a murder or like a case that's being solved, or like something like a thriller element that's happening. So I think collectively I'm very interested to see what the genre like exploring that genre is what I'm trying to get to. I know that there are like two really popular series. One is by Catherine Cowell. The first book is called Fragile Sanctuaries, and then the second series that is jumping out to me is by, I believe, Daphne Perry. And the first one, I believe, is Indigo Ridge. So those are the two other romantic suspenses that jump out to me that I do want to read. I do own the first book, Fragile Sanctuaries by Catherine Cowell. I do not own Indigo Ridge by Daphne Perry, but I will be picking up if I can find it. So there's that. But like I said, overall 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely look forward to reading more by Mia Sheridan. There is another book. I think these are separate books. I don't think these are interconnected standalones, because I don't see like there being a way to introduce other characters. And I remember reading the back of book 2, which I believe is called Unnatural, and I don't remember that character's name popping up in there. So maybe, possibly, they could be connected, but I don't see them being connected. So I think they're just like books that I think she's just Mia Sheridan is just writing books in like a romantic suspense genre. So there's that. All right, y'all. It is late. It's like probably, I would have to guess, like 9:30, something to that effect. Today has been really just full. Today is Sunday, to give perspective. Today has just been really like getting my ish together. I did not pull out the camera until like just a few minutes ago because I wanted to finish this book, because I didn't feel like it made sense to bring a book that I was like 75% done with. I was like, I'm just gonna read it and get it done with before taking it on the plane. But today has been really full of me, watching YouTube. I feel like I've watched so many people's vlogs / videos of them talking about going to London and Paris. I've not watched a lot of videos about Rome, so I need to tap into that because I'll be going to Rome also. But that's really what my day has been really consisting of, is packing and watching YouTube videos. And then I said, let me finish my current read. So I'm finished with it. I am still 4 books behind on my reading goals, so my hope is, fingers crossed, when I am away I can get some good reading in. And I don't think I'm going to read 4 books on my trip, but if I can read at least 2, that would be great. Which now is also posing the next problem of what am I going to read next, and how many books am I going to take with me on my adventure, because I also need to be mindful of like space, because I'm traveling and there's a 50-pound limit and I can't bring as much and like stuff as I typically would love to bring. Usually when I travel, I'm usually driving, but now I'm flying, so I have to be mindful of space and stuff like that. So what to say, I'm a little struggling to figure out what my next read is going to be. I know I'm bringing my Kindle, so that is one thing, but I just love a good physical book, which is why I finished this book physically. I love a good physical book, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do about all of that. So I'm going to sleep on it and think, like, hopefully when I sleep tonight I come to a decision on what I'll be bringing physically, and then also like downloading books on my Kindle. So there's that. All that to say, I am going to go ahead and turn it in and go to sleep because I'm tired. So with that being said, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and I am so freaking excited for this freaking trip I'm about to go on. It's been a minute since I've been over to Europe, so the opportunity to go over to Europe and explore Europe, I'm just so freaking excited for. So there's that in life, but I do plan to vlog the whole trip and the whole experience, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, there's that. All right, peace.